Hello, happy new year. How are you doing? I hope you are having a lovely day. My name is Hilda Gloria from Study in Italy. It is an education consultancy that helps African students get study programs and scholarships in European universities. As you have seen from the title, I am here to tell you about 15 cheap universities that are in Italy. In case you've always wanted to further your education in a European university, Italy is a brilliant destination that I would highly recommend. Italy is a country that has got the cheapest tuition fees in the whole of Europe. Yes, you heard me right, with most universities with tuition fees as low as 150 euros per year, not per semester. So before we waste any time, just get your pen and note down. I'm going to share the universities in reverse order, starting with number 15 is the University of Calabria. Calabria is found in the southern part of Italy and it pays 600 euros for international students per year. It's not per semester. That's even cheaper than tuition fees in Uganda, where I was born and where I come from. I don't know about where you were born. You can tell me in the comments how much is tuition fees for a master's degree, for a bachelor's degree, for universities. Tell me how much it is, but this is how much international students pay in the University of Calabria. It is found in the south of Italy. Very nice cost of living. Is quite low and very affordable for international students. The quality of life is very nice. They've got a beautiful beach, so I would highly recommend. However, please be reminded that the different regions in Italy have got a different economic situation going on, and the south is definitely less fortunate as compared to the north. So if you're looking at things like student opportunities, student jobs, internship opportunities, post-graduation opportunities, this is something that you've got to think about. At number 14 is the University of Camerino. It is found in the southern part of Italy. It has got a very high acceptance rate for international students. I know a number of African students that are studying at that university, and it pays 456 euros. Next is the University of Cassino and Southern Lazio. It is in the same region as Rome, in the Lazio district, or in the Lazio region. It has got also a very high rate of acceptance. It doesn't require TOEFL or IELTS or any English exam, and it is not very competitive, so there are not so many people that know it, or so many African or international students that apply to it. So I would highly recommend that you give it a shot. I remember 2 years ago, 2 of our candidates were accepted in that university, and also their paperwork to travel was quite fast and very easy, because international students are just starting to discover it. Also, it has got a wide range of international courses, or courses that are taught in English, and then some courses that are taught both in English and Italian if you can speak both languages. The tuition fees is 450 euros. Next, also featured in my video last year about the cheapest universities. Last year I shared 10 cheapest universities that have changed because the cost of living has changed, and also the tuition fees have changed when it comes to the universities. It is the University of Pavia. It is a very popular study destination for international students, especially people that are doing sciences. It is the first university that I went to. It is the first university that has got a hospital, and I remember when I was pregnant last year, I went there, and the specialist for infective diseases section was black. That was a proud moment. Definitely I had an interaction with her, and I asked her also, she was a woman. I was like, yes, representation does matter. So I asked her a few questions, a few personal questions, and she told me she came here as a teenager and did her bachelor's in the same University of Pavia, and now is working at the university, the hospital of Pavia. I was like, really, this is a great moment that I definitely have got to share with my subscribers or the people that watch my content. I like also that there were also other doctors that had studied in that university that were working in that hospital. It gives you a glimpse of what the post-graduation opportunities are at the university, and also the chances that you might get integrated into the community if it is something that you desire. If you desire to stay and work in Italy, there is a job that is ready for you, which I completely liked. Also, the other thing that I liked is that there is a huge number of black students. I saw there's so many Asians, so many Africans, and All of them are doing really great courses from bachelor's to postdoctoral, so masters, PhDs. Definitely highly recommend, and it only costs 400 euros. Next is the University of Polytechnico di Marche. Polytechnico di Marche is found in the central part. When I was curating this content, I made sure that I looked through all the regions of Italy, from up north to south, so that I could cover as many regions as possible, because there is a great chance that some of these universities, you're hearing them for the first time, and therefore the competition is not that stiff for international students. It's also a great way for you to diversify your applications by sending to as many regions as possible and not just the popular ones, you know. So Politecnico del Marche is very popular for biology, it's very popular for maths, sciences. They also have got medicine in English, but also very competitive at master's level. I usually get questions of people and inquiries from people asking the universities where they can study bachelor's in medicine, and it is one of them. However, it is very competitive, so go ahead and give it a try. The tuition is 312 euros. Next is the University of Trieste. The University of Trieste is located in Trieste, which is up north in Italy. It's quite cold and also mountainous. It is one of the cities, I think last year or the year before, it got #1 ranked as the city with the best quality of life, and they were encouraging people to go and migrate to that city and move to that city. I have been to Trieste, and hands down it is the cleanest. I didn't feel any headache, you know, when I went there. Less chaotic, very safe. You could move at midnight and everything is very safe. Nobody tried to pickpocket me. The quality of life is amazing. There's all the amenities that you would like: healthcare, hospitals, schools, universities. So I highly recommend, if it is something that you consider, you know, studying in a place that is zen, studying in a place that is safe, studying in a place where the quality of life is amazing, Trieste is a good one. Also, the city is very beautiful. If you are into art, you would love the museums up there. I enjoyed it. However, it's very cold. If you are somebody that doesn't like the cold that much, this is something for you to think about. And its tuition is only 300 euros per year. Next, also featured in last year's top 10, it is the University of Palermo. Now, Palermo as a region is very nice, and I have heard lots of wonderful things about it. From the photos, it is absolutely beautiful. It is by the seaside. It's got beautiful beaches. It's down south in the region of Sicily. Highly recommend. It is a very popular study destination for international students. Now, from this university is when I discovered that the tuition fees in Italy are actually very low, because majority of the students used to come and say, I want to go to Palermo. I'm like, why do you want to go to Palermo? When I used to speak to my friends from Cameroon, from Ghana, from Nigeria, when I was a student, they were like, oh, because the tuition is very low and the cost of living is very low. So if it is something that you consider as a student, especially given that students, you don't have a lot of money because you haven't worked, it is a good destination. However, please remember that it is not a metropolitan city, therefore student opportunities are very low. So if you require working, you might consider things like remote working, teaching English online, and things like that. I have a video that shares jobs, student jobs that you can do in Italy. You guys can check it out. I'm going to link it down below as well. Its tuition is 206. I nearly forgot. Next is the University of Basilicata. Do you see that I went through the regions? I made sure that every region is represented. Now, before I even forget, if you are looking for a cheap university or a low tuition university in Italy, always the trick is search for public universities. They are either tuition free or they are very cheap for international students. However, if you try private universities, they will have a fee for you to pay. Okay, this is something for you to consider. If private education is something that you would like, let me know and I will curate a similar list for cheap private universities for you to explore in Italy. Okay, just comment down below. Now, the University of Basilicata is located down south in the region of Basilicata. What I read about it, I have never been, is that it has got so many archaeological monuments, and it has got a good, I would say the quality of living is not that great. That is what they said. So it is something that you can consider about the place. However, it is low. It has got a low population, and Italy is trying to attract people to go and work there. So there are jobs apparently. I'm not sure about this, I read this from the news. Their tuition is only 195 euros per year. Next is a favorite also that featured in last year's list, top 10. It is the University of Campania. This one, the tuition has stayed the same. It is 158 euros per year, which I believe is a great one. It is in the region, I would say not really south, between central and south. That is where you find Naples. I love Naples. I went to Naples about 5 years before COVID, and then I went back last summer. I love Naples. If you are an international student, you would love Naples. First of all, there are people that will look like you. There's so many black people, so many international people. It has got so many tourists. It has got so many opportunities. The cost of living is low. I remember we ate the best pasta in my life for about 8 euros, and it was abundant, like a big plate. So things like that, if you would like to consider the cost of living. The transport, the metro ticket there is 1.5 euros as compared to Rome, where it is 2 euros, and Milan it is 2.2. So it is things like that that make a difference, that would make your life as a student, you know, very comfortable, because we all know students don't have a lot of money, right? Okay, so Naples, it is a good city. However, the University of Campania has got so many programs in English, especially at doctoral level. So if you are at that level, PhDs, so many. Masters, then they reduce, then bachelors, they've got very few. So it is something for you that you can check out and then find if it aligns or not. Their tuition fees is only 158 euros per year. Yes, you had me, 150 euros per year. Now, to convert 158 euros in Ugandan shillings, where I come from, you guys can do the maths. How much is a euro in your currency? Let me know in the comments. How much is a euro and how much is 158? So in Uganda, the euro is about 4,000 Ugandan shillings, so that could be about 600,000 or 700,000 Ugandan shillings. That is per year. No university in Uganda pays that much amount of money, and is a very good quality at, you know, world ranking, just like the University of Campania. So at number 5, there is a tie. So there's 3 universities. Number 5, number 4, number 3 all pay the same tuition, but I'm going to start with my favorite, which is the University of Milan, La Statale, the public University of Milan. It pays 156, which is just the tuition fees, the tax, the regional tax, meaning it is tuition free. You just have to pay 156, which is the tax, the regional tax, that every international student does pay, and Italians pay it as well if you're coming from a different region. However, if you're a resident in Milan, then you don't have to pay it. It is 156 euros. It has got lots of design courses. Most of you ask me about fashion. Yes, they've got a lot of fashion courses. They've got a lot of engineering. It is divided into 2, the part that, you know, teaches the arts, and then the part that teaches the sciences. It's quite big and is located in different parts of Milan, so you won't find a big block in one place where you are studying. For instance, the engineering one I know is in Bovisa, which is outside north of Milan, and then the other part is in, you know, the very center of Milan, and then I know another part that is in the south of Milan. So I think it's really cool to have lectures here, there, and over there, depending on where your professors or your department chooses to put them. La Statale has produced a lot of friends that I know, a lot of candidates from our previous cohorts. We have one from Nigeria that won a scholarship there last year, and she was able to come, and she's giving very good reviews. I am having a live today. I think by the time you watch this video, the live will be up already, so go ahead and check it out after this video. A friend of mine from Uganda that is also studying at La Statale, she's going to talk about her application and study experience in Milan, in a public university in Milan. So I think it is something for you to, you know, take a look at, and if you aspire to come to Milan, it is a conversation that you would like to listen in. Another one at, you know, the same place is the University of Messina. It is down south in Italy. Listen, last year it featured also. It has the same tuition. It hasn't changed, 156 euros per year per student at all levels. Now that is really unique, because the other universities have got a different fee for, you know, different levels. So bachelors pay this amount, masters pay that amount, and then PhDs pay a different amount. So for La Messina, it is the same. The University of Messina, it is the same. And we've got a number of Ugandans that are studying there. Actually, there's a high increase of intake for international students, especially African students, and also they've introduced more English courses courses that are taught in English, like the Bachelor of Tourism, Bachelor of Data Science, and lots of other masters and PhD courses that you guys can explore if this is something that you would like. However, like I mentioned in the video that I'm going to link down below, that I shared last year, students during the summer leave because they're not very many student jobs, and they go to work abroad in the Netherlands and then just come back to study. Next, which is also a tie with the University of Messina and La Statale Milano, is the University of Macerata. Now this university is also very popular. It's a very popular, I know lots of Indians and Pakistani students that study there. Also, it doesn't have a requirement for IELTS or TOEFL, which I believe is, you know, a great thing. I'm going to leave the link to some of these universities down in the description box below, so that you guys can go ahead and check them out, so that, you know, it becomes easier. But before I forget, why don't you go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet? If you have come this far, subscribe to the channel so that you can see the next videos as soon as I update them, and don't forget to ring the notification bell, or to click on the notification bell, so that you're notified every time I post a new video. I was talking about the University of Macerata. Doesn't require IELTS or TOEFL up until this year. For this academic year, it doesn't require it. It has a very high response rate, so it has application on something called ongoing application. So as soon as you apply, you're assessed and given a result. You don't have to sit and wait for 2 months while everybody is assessed and then you all get the results at the same time. They send you admissions letters on the basis of admission. Who comes first gets assessed first. So I would highly recommend for you to go ahead and apply now after this video, so that your admission letter can come out like let's say next week or the week after. So the last two, which is in position number 1 and position number 2, again are a tie. Both of them cost 150 euros per year. Number 2 is the University of Cagliari. It is in Sardinia. I had a chance to go to Sardinia at a friend's wedding, and hands down one of the most beautiful islands I've been to in Italy. Because I usually encourage my candidates to think about other opportunities that they can get from a place apart from getting a degree or a diploma. Sardinia I would highly recommend. I have a candidate last year who went there. He's from Nigeria. He's studying from Sardinia. He was currently studying in India, I believe. He's Nigerian, moved to India for his bachelor's, and now is in Sardinia for his master's, and he says really good things, especially when it comes to the immigration. There are not so many foreigners, so it is very easy for you to get your permit of stay, and it doesn't take so long like it takes in Milan, and also they don't, you know, stress you like they do stress people in Milan. So that is something to consider. It is beautiful, so you can have fresh air, you can walk at the beach. It is amazing. You can activities to relax are really brilliant there, and are many. Chilling, he also said that it's very cheap to live. Accommodation is about 200 euros a room. In Milan it's about 900 euros, 800 to 900 euros. So it's very, very expensive. And Sardinia is quite cheap, Cagliari. So these are things to think about when you're comparing and choosing a study destination. So think about that. It's very cheap over there. The food is amazing. Sardinian food is one of the best foods I've eaten after Naples, food in Naples. Napolitan food for me is the best, then Sardinia, then Rome. Amazing. They do have good food. At number 1 is the University of Catania. They do have their scholarships open right now, so I'm going to leave you the link down below in the description box so that you guys can go ahead and check that out. They do have a number of English taught courses that they offer at different levels. So I think that's it. We have come to the end of the list. I hope you stay tuned for more content. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to leave me a comment if you will be trying to apply to any of these universities. Which one would it be? Or if you have any questions, specific questions you want to suggest certain videos, I'm very happy to film them. Have a lovely day. Bye.